Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Routledge History of Literature in English, part 85. So let's dive in the world of literature. The section Poetry since 1945 starts with lines written by Philip Larkin in his work Annus Mirabilis. Do read the lines. W.H. Auden represents continuity despite being largely based in the United States for many years. In 1941's New Year letter entitled The Double Man in America, he turned his back on 2 decades of hypocrisy. His work became increasingly Christian in tone as his personal life helped to calm his muddled heart. The Age of Anxiety in 1948, a long dramatic poem, underlined the post-war isolation of the individual and gave a definition to an era. His work such as Nuns from 1951 to 1952, The Shield of Achilles in 1955 and Homage to Clio in 1960 show a growing achievement in various forms of poetry. He was named Oxford Professor of Poetry in 1956. Of his later volumes, About the House from 1965 to 1966 is perhaps the most significant. With his American partner Chester Kellman, whom he had met in 1939, he also wrote the libretto for the Stravinsky opera The Rake's Progress in 1951. Auden is also a major critic, The Dyer's Hand from 1962 to 1963 and Secondary Worlds in 1968. Now comes Dylan Thomas. In 1934, Dylan Thomas's first volume entitled 18 Poems won widespread acclaim. Thomas, who was Welsh, was felt to be a poet who could restore to poetry in English. He wrote the poem Fernhill and few lines are given of the poem. Do read it from the book. As questions from these lines might come, I am repeating it again and again. Do read it. Now comes John Betjeman. He was immensely popular as a poet. His selected poems in 1948 brought him considerable attention, although he had been publishing poetry since 1930 and was close to the Auden group, a passionate defender of Victorian architect and heritage. He wrote poems such as Sudden Illness at the Bus Stop. His verse autobiography, Summoned by Bells in 1960, became a bestseller and was followed by an expanded collected poems in 1962. At the same time as the angry young man was appearing in novels and plays, poetry took on a new tone with the movement, although it was short-lived and was never very homogeneous as a group. Its aim to rid poetry of high-flown romanticism and bring it down to earth can be seen to have been realized in the work most notably of Philip Larkin and of Donald Davie, D.J. Enright and Elizabeth Jennings. Their work deliberately contrasted both with the high emotion and verbal effusion of Dylan Thomas and with the modernist tradition of T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound. The novelists Kingsley Amis and John Wain were also associated with the movement in the mid-1950s. Notably in the 1956 anthology New Lines, A Way of Looking in 1955 by Elizabeth Jennings, contains in its title something of what the group represented. Elizabeth Jennings' collected poems was published in 1987 and that volume was followed by Familiar Spirits in 1994 and Praises in 1998. If you have any doubts or query, you can ask me in the comment section below or you can even message me in the social media IDs that are given below in the description box. So that's all for this video. Thank you and signing out.